The interesting thing about Helena and the audience's experience of the show is we're both starting at the same place. She has no idea what this new world is, just as we have no idea what this world is. So she's really our vessel through which we're going to explore this fantastical world of ARK. And what Helena's thinking, we don't know. That's something that's going to be uncovered over the course of our first episode. From the moment that Helena wakes up, she's in a fight for survival. She's underwater, she's drowning, she has to swim to the top to break to the surface. And the moment that she takes her first breath, now there are creatures out there swimming, these massive dinosaurs that are trying to kill her. So everything Helena's experiencing is really just something of survival. And then the game is called ARK Survival. And so we feel like we really tried to capture the essence of what that means from the very start of her character journey.
What the hell?
You mind not domesticating my dinner there?
For people who've never played the game, they're probably not familiar with the significance of who Bob is, but for people who've played ARK Survival, they definitely know who Bob is. In the game, Bob is the generic character that you start as if you don't bother to make your own character. So there are lots of Bobs running around in the game, and it's obviously a very iconic character in the game. So as part of adapting the world of ARK and the characters and its themes into the new medium of animated television, we thought that it might be a really good idea to have Bob be the first character that Helena sees. When Helena and Bob meet, from the standpoint of the audience and the way that we really wanted to frame it, was that this might be an adventure show, but the key for us was that it sets up a rhythm where different characters Helena meets begin to teach her about what it means to survive on the ARK and the rules of the ARK. So it's a really key relationship, even if it's a little bit more brief, but also we wanted to really push in that direction so that the surprise of Bob being killed would actually really underscore the danger of what's happening in the ARK.
You must rest, child.
Who are you?
So when it came time for the first introductions, the horrifying anti-meet-cutes of Helena and her antagonists, it was thrilling to be able to see her through their eyes. Rockwell in particular, comes from this British Victorian world where order is almighty. There's a structure to the universe. Under God's blue heaven, everyone has their place and their role to fulfill.
This is wrong. All of this.
Tell me then, from what enlightened era do you join us? Your face so clean and your eyes so bright and full of life.
He has to change his evaluation. She sees the world through this secret scientific lens. Other people from other cultures are seeing it through mythology or the idea of an afterlife, or a war zone. And she comes in, she's the person the farthest on the entire historical timeline that he's ever met.
For him, he's been surrounded by different people who don't understand the scientific significance of what's happening on the ARK. So when he meets Helena, he feels that he's met a kindred spirit. And Helena, I think, might feel that as well, and it's part of the casting and part of certainly David Tennant's charm. We hear a very erudite, scholarly British voice. We're not immediately expecting that person to be a villain, and so Helena has a sense of comfort initially with Rockwell that's upset when she sees how brutally minded that he is.
So one of my favorite things about writing all of these characters, for my own process, I tend to wander around my house and roleplay as each character in turn. This was actually one of my favorite scenes to put the mask on and to act out is, all right, I've washed up on the dinosaur island of apocalyptic mystery, and now I have to find my way into the good graces of a Roman general on his T-Rex. And so it was, how should we behave? We want to gain his attention. He needs to know that we are not like the others, that we are valuable, that we can assist him. To speak warmly, to be deferential, to know our place in the way that he thinks of the universe. but also to have enough of an edge and a spark to make him think that we are worth a second glance.
And Nerva is very much a utilitarian. He will use anyone and anything to get closer to his ultimate goal. So that's where they start to have a connection, but it's really a false one. It's really Nerva as a very much a very scheming tyrant, looking at the next person who can give him what he needs.
We must draw him in this particular way, speaking of our homeland, speaking of what we've lost, and that once I'm inside his defenses, I can drive a dagger into his heart.
No. I just ran a tiny Achatina limusegna snail along the rim of your cup. Clearly they're relatives of the cone snail, a creature from my time. Its excretions are toxic. Not enough to kill you, but enough for a few hours of paralysis.
Well, when we first see Helena, she's literally washing ashore, has no idea what to do, where to go. There's also something really interesting where we don't know, from Helena's perspective and everyone on the ARK, right? When they are waking up, they have died and they are remembering their last moments. We have to remember that, what we've seen of Helena, she's carrying the scars and the grief that immediately preceded her waking up on the ARK, and also those are the last moments of her life. And so there's an inner growth that she's been going through that we didn't know until the end of the episode. But then also, I think it's so beautifully illustrated in what she does with the arrow that's embedded in her shoulder. She picks herself up, she throws herself into the tree. She literally is forcibly removing this wound, which you could say is she's also forcibly ejecting her grief as well, and she's making the decision to survive, and that's the main way that she's changed.
For me, the most emotional part of the episode is when Gareth's divine music comes sweeping over the finale. After all that Helena has been through, and now we understand all that she left behind, the terrifying, excruciating place she must have been emotionally when she woke up here, in addition to the active threats to her new life and the loss of the companions that she made. To think that the pain has ended, the pain that she left behind is gone, and to discover that this new world, this chance at rebirth, is filled with just as many, if not more, horrors and suffering. And to choose to live anyway. To choose to fight against the forces that are trying to make this place a second hell is so powerful and inspiring, and is part so much of why I love Helena Walker.
I'm going to survive.